Taste the feeling.
For Total Home Pest Control, who are you going to call?
Call the Bug Man, 923-BUGS.
For total pest control for your home or business, call the original Salvant.
Call the Bug Man today, 923-BUGS.
Exiles from what you ask? Exiled from the radio. But now, we're on your television.
I'm Bill Profita, he's Kevin Gallagher, and they kicked us to the curb.
But we're back.
We are back with Exiles Television on the Pelican Broadcasting Network. We're going to bring you the newsmakers. We're also going to take your calls and give you great information. It's going to be the best damn radio show on television.
Look for it on your cable system or download the app, PelicanSportsTV.com.
They said I could find you here. Why are you fishing? Our company's got to ship out 2 full color brochures and 20 color copies. You're killing me.
It's done. Designed, printed, packaged, and shipped.
How?
You just got to know the right people. Baker Printing, the printing people.
How come you get to fish in this private lake?
Like I said, you just got to know the right people.
You can know the right people too.
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
Welcome to hour one of our Monday edition of the Clarence Bug Show. Here's hoping, as we like to say each and every Monday right about this time of the day, your weekend was an absolutely fabulous one. If not, well, good Lord willing, you will still be here when the next one rolls our way, and you'll have the opportunity to try it all over again. We start today's show talking about something that is of vital importance, particularly during hurricane season and, of course, the COVID-19 pandemic. With all the disruption in our lives, suicide has become more so than maybe any other time in recent memory a tragic reality, especially among our young people. As a matter of fact, September is Suicide Prevention and Awareness Month, and there is a concerted effort going on. It's a multi-agency effort to try and deal with mental health issues surrounding suicides, particularly amongst our young people. Joining us to start today's show is Tonja Myles, peer specialist with Set Free. Tonja, good morning, and how are you today?
Good morning, sir. I am well. How are you?
I am doing well as well. Thank you for asking. You and your agency, along with the Bridge Agency, Baton Rouge Police, Recast, and of course Set Free, are coming together to offer some mental health sessions, particularly geared towards our younger people. What will these sessions focus on, Tonja?
Well, first of all, good morning, and thank you for having me. As you said in your opening statement, September is National Suicide Awareness Month, and so we would just really want to bring awareness that suicide is preventable, death by suicide, and that there's hope and there's resources, particularly to our young people. In our country, death by suicide is the second leading cause of death among youth. Second leading cause of death. And so our young kids, or not kids, but young adults are going through a lot. And as Drake would say, yes, I'm in my feelings. And it's okay to be in our feelings. With everything that they're going through, with COVID, with civil unrest in our country, I mean, their whole lives have been disrupted. A lot of them have not been able to be with their friends, have not been able to graduate and all of that, all of that. So we want to talk to them about suicide prevention, and that suicide does not have to be an option, that there's hope, there's resources, that there's people here in our great community who want to help them so they can be the best version of themselves.
I know in recent years, Tonja, I think I'm a little older than you are. I'm a baby boomer. But in recent years, there was a stigma. It was almost a taboo to even talk about suicide. Are we getting to a point in our society now where we are realizing the magnitude of it and people are more willing to talk about it and to access the resources out there to prevent it?
I think we're making headway, but we still have a long way to go, particularly, in the African-American community. I mean,
Right.
We were taught, you suck it up, you don't tell people your business and
Right.
things of that nature, or you just take it, to God in prayer, which we should. But then even when we do go to the faith-based community, the faith-based community is really not set up for that. And look, this is personal to me. I'm a 2-time suicide survivor. The first time
Bless
I
your
tried
heart.
to kill myself, I was around 13. The next time it was a little bit older than that. And so I know firsthand how it just takes one bad thought or event, and a person would think, you know what, my life doesn't matter. I'm hopeless. I'll never amount to anything.
Right.
And they want to take their lives. So we want to let them know that there's help. So having these conversations, Clarence, is paramount. That's why I talk about my struggle and my challenges so freely, because we want to reduce the stigma, to bring awareness, and let people know there's resources, there's hope, and they do not have to suffer in silence.
I did a little cursory research over the weekend, Tonja, and 2017, for example, the latest numbers that I was able to pull up specifically for Louisiana, we were above the national average for suicides, with nearly 2 people every day in our state committing suicide. Are we still that high on the list as far as you know, especially regarding our young people?
Yeah, unfortunately, we are. And because of COVID, a lot of them have been isolated, not been able to be around teachers or their support system for friends. And so we did a survey, and 8 out of 10 said that they would experience high anxiety and depression and had suicide ideations or thoughts of suicide. And so when our kids come to us and say, look, I'm hurting, or when we see their behavior, it might be different or sporadic, then that's when we need to go into action. But Clarence, I think a lot of times, people don't know what to do, and that's why we're having these sessions. That's why we work with Baton Rouge Crisis Intervention Center to train people on how to talk to someone who's thinking about taking their lives, schools and churches and businesses, so we can maybe, have people or train them to see the signs, to identify them, and to help that person and give them those resources. So here's the deal. I'm not giving up hope. I know we still have a lot of conversation, a lot of work to do, but because of people like you who are having these conversations and bringing these to the forefront, we're going to make a difference.
I look at all that's going on, as you mentioned, the social upheaval, COVID-19. We're in the midst of this highly active hurricane season. Many parents may be so busy and consumed with simply going from day to day, surviving all of the things that we're dealing with right now. They may not be aware or on the lookout for certain signs that are letting us know something is not right. Can you give us just a cursory glance of some things that we may want to be on the lookout for that could signal this young person is heading down that path?
Yeah, when we see, sporadic behavior, a really paradigm shift of their behavior change, then that could be, signs of, I need to maybe spend a little more time talking to my kid. If you see them just being a recluse, just wanting to just stay in their room and not, talk to anybody, maybe sleep all day, maybe eat too much, particularly don't eat at all, we need to maybe, sit down and have a conversation. Particularly if we hear our young person or anybody saying, my life is hopeless, I'll never amount to anything, I'm never going to make it, I don't need to be here, why am I here? Then we need to start talking to them. Look, a lot of times we have been scared to ask people, do you want to kill yourself? And to be honest, best practice and evidence-based says you should ask them point blank, do you want to kill yourself? And ask them, and if they tell you, then, we'll be able to train people on what they need to do. If somebody say, I've been thinking about it, then, you need to stop what you're doing and have that conversation. Right. If they say, I have plans, then, we really, really need to get them the help that they need. So when you see behavior changes, when you see them sleeping too much, particularly when they're saying, my life don't matter, they might be being bullied, I just don't want to live anymore, sleeping too much, even drug abuse. That could be a sign. But, we really need to just particularly ask that hard question, do you want to kill yourself?
I have a very dear friend, and I did not talk with her about this segment, but I think she would not mind me mentioning it. After her son committed suicide at an early age, she went back through reminiscing about his life in her photo album. And she told me afterwards she felt bad because in looking at the pictures chronicling her son's life, she literally, quote, saw the light in his eyes go out. This is something that typically, and correct me if I'm wrong because you're the expert here, this is something that typically does not just happen overnight. It's something that happens over a period of time. Is that a correct assumption?
Yeah, most of the time, it can be. People a lot of times, because when they think about it all the time, and look, a lot of people think about suicide a lot. That doesn't mean they're going to actually do it, but when, and I hear a lot of parents or a lot of loved ones say, I saw the signs and I just thought it was something else. And look, when you're not sure, that's why we need to ask. And, you're right. Things can happen. Life happens. And when an event happens that a person thinks, I'm never going to rebound for this, I'm never going to make it out of this, we need to, tell people that suicide does not be an option. But yeah, as a family member, you see those signs or you see the light go out of their eyes, then you need to have a conversation with them. And look, one of the top suicidologists in the country is right here in Baton Rouge, Dr. Frank Campbell, and I'm so gracious that I get to train under him. And he told me, he said, Tonja, the best thing you can tell people is to ask their loved one. If they don't know what to say, ask them these two things. Where does it hurt, and how can I help? And look, we're all an expert on our own self, and I believe that when we ask those questions, people will tell us, and then that's when we need to go into action to get them the help that they need.
Is there any such thing as a particular demographic that's more prone to committing suicide, or is it a case where, like so many things otherwise in life, it's an equal opportunity taker?
So no. So what we've seen in the data is that first it's white males, second it is white females, then it is African American men, and black women are last on that list to do death by suicide. And so that's what we're seeing. But now we're seeing an increase right here in Baton Rouge. I think by like 80% of African American males have died death by suicide.
Wow. So
that's right here, according to the coroner, Bo Clark.
Right. So when will these sessions be held, and How can interested people take part, Tonja?
Yes, so what you would need to do is go to thebridgeagency.org and sign up, or if you're on social media, you go to the Bridge Agency and you would see the information, and all you do is sign up. And look, if you have family members that are listening right now who are saying, you know what, I think my kid is going through something, or my young adult, I would love for them to be a part of this, then talk to them and have them log on. They don't have to say anything. All they can do is listen. And these groups are going to be particularly for youth, where they'll have a safe space, a no judgment zone, to help them navigate and talk to them about anger, talk to them about, yes, I'm in my feelings. It's okay to feel, but you can't, let them, those emotions take you out. So we're going to be teaching them a lot of techniques, giving them a lot of resources, but more than any, parents giving them hope, giving our ear. And it's not just going to be something we're going to do every week this month, because it is National Suicide Awareness Month.
Right.
But it's going to be something that we're going to continue to plug them in, where they will have a safe space. They will have someone to call when they're hurting.
You just reminded me of something. This would be a marvelous opportunity as well, would it not, for us to talk with our young people and let them know if they have friends that they may know about that are exhibiting these signs, may have talked about, because as we all know, young people tend to confide more in other young people many times than they do we older adults. This would be a great opportunity for them to bring their peers in, as well as their peers' parents, to try and help with that regard, correct?
Yes, and what we're going to be doing as well is that we're going to be we have trained youth or trained adolescents who are trained to identify, that behavior, or, identify maybe, preventing suicide in their friends. So you're absolutely right. So the goal is before COVID happened, we were going to be training, I think, about 75 young adults who are in college, who are in high school, and middle school as well, to know how to help a person who's contemplating suicide or having thoughts of suicide. So we're going to be training their peers. They're going to be, dispersed throughout East Baton Rouge Parish school system. So when they have a friend who's having a challenge, or just someone at their school, then they can go into action and help that person, just to be a listening ear, but to then, there'll be other people helping them. So I'm excited that you said that, and we're going to do everything in our power to reduce suicide.
So how can people that are interested and want to access this, how can they find out more about the sessions and the services your great organization offers, Tonja?
So two things, they can go to my website at anytime, tonjamiles.com, and all they have to do is just email me. I'll send them the information, TONJAMYLES, and then they can go to the Bridge Agency on any social media platform, sign up for these sessions, and here's the deal. We're going to give them an incentive. If they do all of the sessions, we're going to give them a gift card where they can go and do something nice for themselves. Because we want them to know that there's hope, there's help, and that we're here for them.
Outstanding. Tonja Myles, peer specialist, thank you so much for the time, and for the record, I am so impressed and so grateful, number one, that you are a two-time suicide survivor, but more important, you saw fit to be able to give back to the community and help others in that regard. You didn't just recover from this, but instead of only talking the talk, you're now walking the walk. God bless you for that, Tonja.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for shedding light with this much needed challenge in our community on your show. I appreciate you so much.
And do me a big favor, if you would. We have each other's contact information when you have big things coming up that you need to get the word out about in the future. I would consider it an honor and a privilege if you'd give me a call and allow me to help.
Okay, now, so you just said that on national TV, so, like, when I blow your phone up, don't go with Tonja. Hold up. I'm just saying.
I would be honored, Tonja. Do me a favor and stay safe, dear.
You too. Thank you so much.
You're quite welcome. That is truly an inspirational story. I can't imagine. God has blessed me to the point where I've never had the wildest thought of ending my own life. But obviously here in Louisiana, it's a problem. And thank God we've got people that are stepping up to the plate. We're long overdue, so I need to get this one out of the way. Marty's sitting over there like this.
Waiting on you, boss.
Waiting on you, boss. So we'll get this break out of the way, come back and talk more right where you've got it on the Monday edition of the Clarence Bugg Show, only on the Pelican. Stay close.
I owed the IRS $10,000.
The IRS garnished my wages.
They put a lien on my house.
I'm self-employed and didn't report all my income. They claim I owe a lot more than I do.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency in the world. They do not give up until you pay.
I couldn't sleep. We were being audited. I called Tax Solutions Now, and a great big weight was lifted off my shoulders.
I called Tax Solutions Now, and they got the IRS off my back.
Tax Solutions Now had my wage garnishment lifted in 48 hours.
Tax Solutions Now can get you help. Our agents know the rules, can stop the pain, and get you the best deal.
Tax Solutions Now saved my business.
I qualified for the Fresh Start program. I paid less than I owed.
We connect you with a team of former IRS agents and tax professionals who get the IRS off your back. Time is running out. Call Tax Solutions now.
Call 800-778-4345. 800-778-4345.
From appetizers, pasta dishes, and entrees, La Contea takes pride in preparing all the Italian cuisine we know you love. Enjoy live music every Thursday through Saturday from 6 to 9, happy hour weekdays from 3 to 6, and brunch on Sundays from 11 to 2, as well as dinner portion-sized lunch specials for under $10. Visit our website to view our menu and book a party or meeting in our large banquet room. Once you try La Contea, your Italian dining will change forever.
That's right, the Clarence Bugg Show is back, along with the Exiles, Bill Profita and Kevin Gallagher. We've put the band back together, South Louisiana's talk team, and it's only on the Pelican. 10 a.m. till 12 noon, right here on the Pelican.
Hi, I'm Bobby Yarborough with Manda Fine Meats. Here at Manda, we know what the folks of South Louisiana love. They love great flavored smoked sausage, delicious deli meats, and specialty items like boudin and andouille sausage. Manda Fine Meats has been providing these products since 1947. We produce them right here in Baton Rouge, so you know you're always getting the freshest product at your local grocery store. Manda Fine Meats. Taste the fresh local flavor in everything we make. Make it Manda every time.
Bolello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent. Depend on us for service, for selection, for price. Get huge Whirlpool savings. Shop now and save on Whirlpool appliances throughout the store. Plus, experience our price match guarantee and ask about special financing. You can depend on the know-how of people who live appliances every day. Bolello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent with nationwide buying power.
All over the place. Still to come in today's show, got a treat for you. Among other things today, we will spend some time with the man, the myth, the legend, the one and only, Coach Barrett Murphy, good guy all the way around, the best friend to all of high school athletics. I would go so far as to say not just in Louisiana, if not the entire South, if not the nation. And I know that's a pretty tall order, but for those of you that know him, you know that I'm not just blowing smoke. I am so looking forward to spending some time with my friend as we start the 11 o'clock hour. Obviously, Hurricane Sally, the big news all across South Louisiana, and particularly from the mouth of the Mississippi River on eastward. Hopefully, you have already made your preparations in that regard, and fortunately, if there is such a beast, most of us have already put our hurricane preparedness kits together, things of that nature, just on the heels of Hurricane Laura. So it's not as though this is our first rodeo. It's not as though we're going to have to rush out and get all of these things. Most of us pretty much are already stocked up in that regard. It is simply a matter at this juncture of staying abreast, staying aware, staying plugged in to the news cycle so that we can all govern ourselves accordingly. As it stands right now, the trek looks as though the greater Baton Rouge metro will be spared the worst. Now, that being said, this is a hurricane. This is Mother Nature that we're talking about here. And you know how these things work. I'm not telling you anything that you don't know about. If you are a native South Louisianian, or for that matter, if you're just a South Louisianian in general, you know how quirky Mother Nature can be and how these things can change so quickly and so easily. So all that being said, the old adage, and y'all that have listened to me, watched me any number of years, any amount of time, you know how big I am on adages. But in this particular case, it is certainly apropos. The ounce of prevention, always worth much more than the pound of cure. And there is the distinct possibility that many folks will, when impacted by Sally, find themselves facing a power outage. And let's not repeat the oh so tragic and unfortunate occurrences that happened in the aftermath of Laura. Improper generator use. There is nothing, my humble opinion only, more tragic than surviving Mother Nature's wrath only to turn right around and find yourself losing your life or a loved one's life because of improper portable generator use. It is something that is too easily avoidable. And listen, I understand in the aftermath of a terrible storm, you have so many things going through your mind. You have so many different things to deal with. Many times you're just so grateful to have that generator, and in our quest to return to normalcy, get some air conditioning, get the refrigeration back on, many times we do these things without thinking all the way through the process. Hopefully, and it sounds, for lack of a better word, somewhat morbid, but I think they would all agree. The tragic victims that lost their lives to improper generator use in the aftermath of Hurricane Laura, they would not want this to be repeated to anyone in South Louisiana. We still don't exactly know where the major impact from this storm is going to be, but one thing we can make certain of is that we don't repeat that particular part of the tragedy all over again. It is, again, something that is so easily avoidable. And, you know, when all is said and done, COVID-19, presidential election, phase 3 reopening, there are so many things every single day these days. It seems like we add more and more with each passing day. There are so many things that are totally beyond our control. English teachers, cover your ears in 3, 2, 1. This ain't supposed to be one of them. It's not. This is something that is totally, firmly, and completely within our control. So govern yourselves accordingly, guys, girls. This is not our first rodeo. English teachers, again, ain't gonna be our last. So govern yourselves accordingly. And pardon the pun and the double entendre all at the same time, we will weather this storm and we'll get through this and we'll be better and stronger because of it. Tell you what, Marty set the clock erroneously. It is bottom of the hour. So we'll go ahead, get this bottom of the hour break out of the way. We'll come back and roll on with hour 1 of the Monday edition of the Clarence Bug Show, here and only here on the Pelican. Stay close.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Rouge Jr., and I am a general dentist at Rouge Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
Jaguar Nation, we need your help in masking up Louisiana.
Masks help us slow the spread of COVID-19.
During this time, we must continue to wear a mask. Wash your hands and practice social distancing.
It's important that we continue to abide by the CDC's guidelines to stop the spread.
Jaguar Nation, we challenge you to mask up.
Go Jags!
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
For total home pest control, who are you going to call?
Call the Bug Man, 923-BUGS.
For total pest control for your home or business, call the original Salvat.
Call the Bug Man today, 923-BUGS.
They said I could find you here. Why are you fishing? Our company's got to ship out 2 full color brochures and 20 color copies. You're killing me.
It's done. Designed, printed, packaged, and shipped.
How?
You just got to know the right people. Baker Printing, the printing people.
How come you get to fish in this private lake?
Like I said, you just got to know the right people.
You can know the right people too.
Welcome back to hour 1 of our Monday edition of the Clarence Bug Show. Oh, it reminds me of Spencer Callahan. Just now, at like the end of the first sentence, Marty points to which camera I'm supposed to be going to, right? Have you seen the, is it Spencer Callahan? Does the commercials on Fox 44 in Baton Rouge for football? Yeah. and he has the one out where he says, you're watching so-and-so on Fox 44, and all the yellow flags come flying in. He catches one and he goes, oh, now you throw a flag, huh? Yeah, now you tell me what camera to go on after we're like 2 sentences into the rejoin, right? There you go. Gotta wait and see. There you go. I want to give you guys and girls a heads up. If you encounter me today and you walk away saying, boy, Clarence sure was in a stinky mood today, it's not anything you did, okay? Well, wait, let me back up. It might be something y'all did because you know how y'all are. And the day is still young. There's still plenty of time for y'all to do something. But I come in today and I am PO'd beyond belief. I'm ticked because with all of COVID-19, with all of the lockdown and the phase this and the phase that and the phase the other and so on and so forth, I'm finally saying to myself, oh, at least we made it to football. I get to kick back this past weekend and I can watch me some college football, and NFL I already knew I wasn't going to watch because I knew the foolishness that they were going to pull ahead of time. I already knew this. But I turned on the television Saturday, and I only get to see 2 plays before I'm being preached to by the social justice crowd. So after 2 plays, I reached for my remote, and that was the end of football for me. It's amazing how you can find things that you thought meant so much to you, and you can do without them. Listen, y'all, as much as I love Drew Brees, as much as I love the Saints, as much as I love me some Joe Burrow, I love my country a hell of a lot more. When all is said and done, I love my country more than any game, any team, or any individual. It's hurtful, but there's a pattern here. Liberals have this tendency to destroy everything they touch. And there's a group of folks out there right now that are not going to be happy until they kill the goose that laid the golden egg. They're not going to be happy until they completely destroy organized sports. A new poll from the Gallup polling organization came out last week, and it is sending a strong warning to organized sports. This poll from Gallup finds that the favorability rating for the sports industry has crashed by a whopping 30 points. Now, obviously, you figure, we conservatives, it was going to take a nosedive. But according to Gallup, not only among Republicans, conservatives, but now among independents as well. I remember very vividly when Monday Night Football decided it would be a good move to bring in Dennis Miller to the broadcast booth. For the record, I don't want funny with my football. The late, great Marino Chasm coined the phrase, in the South, football is a religion, And Saturday is the holy day of obligation. I don't want funny with my football. And I certainly don't want preaching with my football. I go to organized sports to get away from all of this other stuff. If I want to be preached to, well, I've got the remote and I got all these other channels that I can choose from. I got all of this stuff. I come to you to get away from this. And Americans now are tuning out in droves. It is a flawed business model. You don't insult half of your customers. And at the end of the day, again, some of them are not going to be satisfied until they ruin an institution. Speaking of people I love me some Coach O. To me, he epitomizes what South Louisiana is all about. We look funny, we talk funny, we like to eat anything that won't eat us first. That's us. We're Louisianians. We're gruff, go Tigers. We're gruff, we're rough around the edges, but that's who we are. But we love some people, we love each other, and we do anything to help one another. I don't know to what degree, and I am assuming he probably had no say-so in it, but recently when 100+ student athletes engaged in this unity march across campus, fighting racial inequality, social injustice, et cetera, et cetera. As a black man, it bothered me, and I'll tell you why. You now live, LSU student athletes, you now live in a city, whether you're from here or not, while you are matriculating at Louisiana State University, our state's flagship university. You live in this city. A city, by the way, that is on track to set a record for the number of homicides committed in a year. Homicides, by the way, that will be 99+% young black men. A city, by the way, 99+% that will be killed by other young black men. That's what you ought to be marching about. But this is how they play you. We come up with a new word, with a new phrase. Well, it's systemic. Woo! And everybody wants to jump on the bandwagon. It's systemic. It's systemic. You can't spell systemic. But you're a part, and then they pull the wool over your eyes talking about, yeah, but we need diversity. If you're a football player, you're on a team that's what, 80% black? If you're truly interested in diversity, you should be marching for more white kids, more Asian kids, and more Latinos on the football team, if you're truly interested in diversity. Meanwhile, city of Chicago, this weekend, just this weekend, not the whole 7-day week, mind you, from Friday to Sunday, 50 people shot, 11 dead in 2 days, but Black Lives Matter. Do you not see something wrong with this picture? Listen, y'all, I get it. If you're not a liberal at 20, you don't have a heart. If you're not a conservative at 40, you don't have a brain. I'm going to say that again, because some of y'all ain't going to get this till later tonight, but that's okay, long as you get it. If you're not a liberal at 20, you don't have a heart. If you're not a conservative at 40, you ain't got a brain. There are people out there that will use your emotions and your feelings to further an agenda. Meanwhile, the wholesale slaughter of young black men at the hands of other young black men continues unabated. But the problem, according to them, they would have you believe, is the popo and the white folks. Somebody needs to say it. And you will not watch this show and go away saying, Clarence, you knew the scope, the extent of the slaughter taking place on our streets, and you didn't say a word. Ain't happening. Not on my watch. And at the end of the day, y'all, pure and simple, if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. But there is a marked difference between standing for foolishness, standing for a lie, standing for people who, in the grand scheme of things, really don't care about you. They're just using catchphrases and slogans to hoodwink, snooker, and bamboozle you into giving up power. Pure and simple. Final break of this hour. We get it done. And we'll talk more right where you've got it. Here and only here on the Pelican. Stay close.
Hi, I'm Bobby Yarborough with Manda Fine Meats. Here at Manda, we know what the folks of South Louisiana love. They love great flavored smoked sausage, delicious deli meats, and specialty items like boudin and andouille sausage. Manda Fine Meats has been providing these products since 1947. We produce them right here in Baton Rouge, so you know you're always getting the freshest product at your local grocery store. Manda Fine Meats. Taste the fresh local flavor in everything we make. Make it Manda every time.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
Exiles from what you ask? Exiled from the radio. But now, we're on your television.
I'm Bill Profita, he's Kevin Gallagher, and they kicked us to the curb.
But we're back.
We are back with Exiles Television on the Pelican Broadcasting Network. We're going to bring you the newsmakers. We're also going to take your calls and give you great information. It's going to be the best damn radio show on television.
Look for it on your cable system or download the app, PelicanSportsTV.com.
From appetizers, pasta dishes, and entrees, La Contea takes pride in preparing all the Italian cuisine we know you love. Enjoy live music every Thursday through Saturday from 6 to 9, happy hour weekdays from 3 to 6, and brunch on Sundays from 11 to 2, as well as dinner portion-sized lunch specials for under $10. Visit our website to view our menu and book a party or meeting in our large banquet room. Once you try La Contea, your Italian dining will change forever.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to GreystoneCountryClub.com.
Back to hour one of our Monday edition of the Clarence Bug Show. you guys and girls that have watched and or listened to me for any amount of time, you know that I grew up in a military household. My late father, Sarge, was a 27-year veteran of the United States Army. And it is part and parcel, and a huge part, actually more than part and parcel, it is the reason why I am the conservative individual that I am. Those of you that grew up in military households, you can relate. You understand full well. If your daddy was a sergeant for 27 years in the United States Army, you'd be conservative too. And you would have a love of God and country and a love of our military like few people do. And I would be remiss in my duty if I did not take the opportunity to engage in a tip of the hat. Don't know how many of you saw the story, but there was a celebration in New Orleans this weekend for America's oldest known living World War II veteran, Mr. Lawrence Brooks, celebrating his 111th birthday this past weekend in New Orleans. He was given, as he has been for the last 5 years, a very special birthday party by the World War II Museum in New Orleans, including a flyover by World War II era airplanes. It was truly, truly moving. And for 111 years old, this guy is in phenomenal shape. He is truly a treasure. He served in the all-black, well, in the black 91st Engineering Battalion during World War II, and truly is a testament to love of God and country and serving this great country. He, I told you this guy was in great shape. Saturday, he danced while the victory bells performed on the sidewalk in front of his home. And it is just such an inspirational story. As a matter of fact, the World War II Museum had encouraged everyone to send Mr. Lawrence Brooks birthday cards to help him celebrate his 111th birthday. He received nearly 10,000 birthday cards, 9,768 birthday cards and packages from all 50 states, plus the Virgin Islands, Guam, and 5 other countries. It is truly a phenomenal story and truly a phenomenal individual. And while we are talking about special people, those of you that are members of the community of faith, those of you like yours truly that have an affinity for our first responders, law enforcement, EMS, so on and so forth, if you would please be so kind as to keep those 2 Los Angeles law enforcement officers in your thoughts and prayers. Many of you, because of the overwhelming nature of COVID-19, social unrest, social upheaval, so on and so forth, many of you have kind of divorced yourselves from the news cycle. It's a sad commentary, the number of people that I encounter now, and I ask them, man, did you see such and such story on the news? And they'll readily tell you, Clarence, I don't watch the news anymore. It's all negative. It's all horrible this, horrible that. I got better things to do with my time than to be inundated constantly with ugly, 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 negative, negative, negative. It used to be a time in this country where we relished the opportunity to become informed, given just the facts, and allowed to make up our own minds about whatever the issue of the day happened to be. So if you were out of the news cycle over the weekend, I certainly understand that. But there were 2 officers that were ambushed, sitting in their patrol car, SUV as the case would be, and caught on surveillance tape an individual walking up and firing multiple rounds point blank into the car. One of them was a mother of a 6-year-old. The other officer was a male. Both have undergone surgery, are still in critical condition. Hopefully they will survive and come out of this as great as they were before this horrific incident. It is a sad commentary of the times in which we live. And listen, whether you are pro-law enforcement or anti-law enforcement, you're an American. You have the right to have whatever your opinion is. But at the end of the day, we are still a nation of laws. And someone has to have the wherewithal, the old folk used to call it the gumption, the nerve, the backbone to enforce those laws. And when individuals brazenly will walk up and attempt to murder 2 individuals who have sworn an oath to protect and serve us, if they can be so brazen as to kill individuals who have sworn an oath to keep us safe, they don't give a you-know-what about killing you or I. When all is said and done, somebody has to enforce the rules. And you can pick a country, pick a society, close your eyes, spin the globe, and stick your finger wherever it lands. Even if it's out in the middle of the ocean, there is somebody who is charged with enforcing the laws. You can be out in international waters. There's still somebody charged with enforcing international law. We cannot survive, much less thrive, unless we have certain standards that we adhere to. And I don't care if you are black, white, Latino, Asian, conservative, liberal, independent, whatever. When all is said and done, individuals like this piece of scum that took it upon himself to try and murder 2 law enforcement officers, if they will do that to the police, imagine what they will do to you. Some of y'all ain't gonna get that till later, but that's okay. And you know what's the amazing thing about all of this? Until we find out who this low-life piece of garbage was, that person, if they get back home and someone has broken into their home, is holding their mother hostage, you know who they gonna call? The police. Underappreciated, underpaid, outgunned, and yet called all kinds of ugly names, demonized, whether you've been a good officer every single day of your life or not. And yet, they still get up every single day and they honor that oath to protect and serve. They do the job that the overwhelming majority of people watching right now, on your best day, you didn't have the backbone to do. And to see this individual so brazenly try to end the lives of those two officers. The one, by the way, who may have rushed to the aid to save the life of this piece of scum's mother who was in distress. We got some soul searching to do in this country, y'all. And the sooner we stop listening to the media, the sooner we stop listening to all these folks with an agenda, the sooner we realize who we are and what we want to be and start working toward it, the better off we're going to be. Top of the hour break. Can't wait to start the second hour. My man, Coach Barrett Murphy, next on the Clarence Bugg Show.
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent. Depend on us for service, for selection, for price. Get huge Whirlpool savings. Shop now and save on Whirlpool appliances throughout the store. Plus, experience our price match guarantee and ask about special financing. You can depend on the know-how of people who live appliances every day. Bellello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent with nationwide buying power.
For total home pest control, who are you going to call?
Call the Bug Man, 923-BUGS.
For total pest control for your home or business, call the original Salvant.
Call the Bug Man today, 923-BUGS.
Welcome back to the Monday edition of the Clarence Bugg Show. Do not attempt to adjust your set. Yes, it is who you think it is. Baton Rouge's, Louisiana's, America's gift to high school football, the man, the myth, the legend, and I'm so proud to say, my friend, Coach Barrett Murphy. Coach, how are you, my friend?
Clarence, I'm fired up, brother.
Yes, sir.
Anytime I can get with my old friends, and we got a relationship that goes back a few years when we were on radio together.
Yes, sir.
Just balling and having fun every week, and then all of a sudden, the bomb hit.
The COVID bomb.
Not only that, we don't even talk about it. I'm just glad to be here, man.
Well, I'm glad to have you here, my friend. How bad does our state need high school football, Coach?
Oh, unbelievable. Clarence, they really need it. We need to get our kids back into that social affair. People in the stands, people going to the games, people getting out and being a part of the community. Get out there and let these kids play. Don't stop me. You know, we're going to follow the guidelines. The parents are going to do what they got to do. But they need that interaction. They need to be with people. They don't need to be locked up and on a computer working all the time. You know, that could lead to some bad things eventually. I like it at the house, and I don't want to go to school, and I'm going to do it at home. You're going to give me a choice? Oh, yeah, you got a choice. You don't have a choice. Go to school. Get up every morning, make your bed, go to school, do what you got to do.
You bring out a good point, because we started the show today with a young lady that is working with suicide prevention.
There you go.
And if we're not careful, some of the unintended consequences is that we're going to end up with a higher suicide rate than we already have, which is above the national average, particularly with our young people. Our state obviously needs football, but how much do our young people deserve to have some normalcy?
They have that right. They should have it. I mean, you know, we've seen what COVID does. You know, like guys like you and I. We're the guys that they have shown that if you have an underlying cause, or you got this, or you got that, and then you're going to be affected. But for these young kids, the research, and I'm not a doctor, I'm not going into all of that, but it really hadn't proven that it affects those kids. Can they be carriers? Possibly so. The jury's still out, but until they can have more and these kids do what they're supposed to do, the teachers do what they're supposed to do, let the kids go to school.
You talk about high school football, and it truly is, in my estimation, an institution.
It's the real deal.
And you're not just talking about, I caught that, by the way, it's not just the kids in the uniforms and the pads and the helmets. You're talking the bands, you're talking the cheerleaders. You're talking the concession stand workers, the traffic directors, the boosters. It's an institution, and this affects the mental health as well as the physical health of entire communities, doesn't it?
You know, you hit it on the head. What else? You know, you mentioned about everything, but one thing I really do, and I think is so much of the school life, is when they'd have the Thursday pep rallies. Oh, man, the whole student body got together, and there's so much energy and excitement, and the band, the dancers, everybody's hollering and cheering. Those stands are empty now. They empty. That's scary.
And as tough as it is for me to say, but it's the reality of the day. The stands are empty, but that also means there is an emptiness, or at least not as full as community pride as there should be, right?
Oh, it should always be pride in your schools, regardless. You know, I can remember, and I've been through a lot of things in the high schools. I went through the busing, I went through the integration. Minority to majority. Let me give you a quick story.
All right.
When I left the private schools, my first job was at Bel Air High School.
Know him well.
Bel Air High School. When I first went there, you know, they hadn't had a winning season since school opened. That was about 4 or 5 years, I believe. But then, you know, go to the school, it was totally white. Whoa. Totally white. And I'm going, wow. Even when I was at Catholic High, we had black kids at the school. But I am at a public school, and I'm going, wow. So you can say what you want, but when they came in with the minority to the majority, I had done construction work all my life. During the summer, when I was in the private schools, we got paid 9 months and had to go find a job for 3 months.
For 3.
That was it. So I did a lot of construction work, had a lot of people down in the capital area that I work with. Boy, when the paper came out, Coach Murphy was heading to Bel Air. boy, Coach, you going to be out there? I said, yeah, I'm going to be here a while. So all of a sudden, but then it was a minority to majority. If you wanted to go to the majority, you had to find your way out there.
Right.
So guess what?
Yeah.
See, I had a pickup truck.
Load them up.
I loaded them up on the corner of Gus Young and North Acadian.
Right.
I tell those kids, meet me at the 7-Eleven there.
Right.
Boys and girls. Boy,
Yeah.
we'd pack. I had an old green ship on the floor. I'd pile them in there, rain, slime. It didn't matter.
Didn't matter.
Get in that truck and we went to school.
Wow.
But a couple of the kids, one of them is the Bubba Signator. That was his nickname, Bubba.
Right.
But he's the principal, I think, now in McKinley.
Yes.
He was one of my riders. You can call him and ask him, boy.
Wow.
But, I mean, I had so much. It was such an enjoyable place to be.
Mm-hmm.
And we had and then, boy, we got pretty daggone good after that. Then I tried the big-time college
Right.
aspect. And
Right.
I stayed in college. I was at Nichols. Then I went to McNeese. And I said, you know what? You go out and recruit a guy, stud, he stays 2 years.
Yep.
And then you got to go find somebody. I said, I'm going back to the high school.
There you go.
Whereas a kid comes in the 9th grade, the coach got him for 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess the good Lord wanted me in high school, and that's what I did.
You talk about, and I can tell from the passion in your voice, I can tell by the facial expression, how much you enjoy interacting with those kids
Oh, I love
on the high school level. And when you get to see one that used to be at the 7-Eleven, jump in your truck and go to practice.
And I'm still on Facebook with a lot of them.
Yeah.
I keep up with them.
Is that one of the most rewarding aspects of coaching, getting to watch those kids at that age be that lump of coal and you put that pressure on it and the next thing you know, here's a diamond?
Yeah, a little diamond in the rough, but you got to mold it, unfold it, and let it grow.
Sound like you may have done it. Might have said that once or twice.
Yeah.
Say that again.
You got to mold it, unfold it, and let it grow.
Wow.
Yeah, but you know one thing? I heard something today coming in. I used to talk about this all the time. You know, we talk about courage.
Mm-hmm.
Nowadays, we need courage.
Right.
People to stand up. And I was listening to your commentary. It was wonderful. And of course, everybody said, well, you're a conservative. Yeah, but I'm an American.
More than anything.
More than anything, I'm an American. I grew up, worked hard all my life.
Mm-hmm.
Took me 10 years and 3 kids to get a college education.
Wow.
So don't tell me it can't be done.
Yeah.
It can be done. It's what's instilled in you when you're young.
Amen.
You know, and let me tell you what. You know, coming from a military home, right?
Oh, yeah.
Sarge,
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
you get up, you make your bed, you shine your shoes, you sit down at the table, you say your grace. There's nothing wrong with that.
No.
Nothing at all.
No.
And here's the thing. People are getting away from that.
Yep.
But you know what they need? They need courage.
Yep.
Courage is a muscle.
That's true.
It's a muscle. And if you don't use it, you lose it.
Yep.
So that's what we need today is courage. And I'm all for the freedom of speech and expression. That's what this country's all about.
Right.
That's why I went in this call, the United States Marine Corps.
Amen.
I signed a contract, and that contract is still good today.
Bless your heart.
And I'm 83 years old.
He is a guy that makes you want to say, pass the collection plate and we can go on home now because we've had the sermon for the day.
Well, it's not, you know, it's something I believe.
Love of God and country.
Right.
I know it pains you.
It does.
Like it does me. Where do we lose that, Coach? Any idea?
You know, I try every time I sit down and watch some of this stuff that's going on. I think it started in the schools somewheres.
Mm-hmm.
Generations.
Yeah.
You know, and everybody will say, well, you know, you're an old white dude. You didn't do this. You didn't come
Whatever.
through this. Okay. The good Lord made me that, and that's what he put me here to do, to be what I am.
Right.
But you know one thing? What's the color of your heart?
Same as yours.
What's the color of mine?
Same as
What's
mine.
the color of your blood?
Same as yours.
So, What are we going to do?
What's the problem?
What's the problem? That's what I said. What's the problem?
Yeah.
We create problems.
Amen.
But God bless us. The bottom line is you better kneel down and pray every night.
Well said, sir.
There's nothing wrong with prayer. And it's gotten me through, and God bless my wife because she has been the cornerstone of my family.
Bless your heart.
And that gal says that rosary every day. And I know the kids used to call me, well, you a bead pincher.
I've never heard that one before.
Yeah, I am a bead pincher.
Brought you through, didn't it?
And you know what? Maybe you won't pinch them, but you better sing them.
Yes, sir.
Amen.
And
you got me preaching today, Clarence.
and
that's
nothing wrong
not
with that. You're in good company, Coach. You're in good company because I have been there and done that. And I ain't talking about what I heard. I'm talking about what I know. And if not, but for the grace of God, there go I any given day. And Coach, and I think you'll agree. When I look at where I could have been blessed to be born, when I think about all the other places that I could have been a citizen of, I have to believe, not to say that we should ever stop trying to be better, but at the same time, I have to believe that this is the best country on the face of this earth. And if you can't succeed here,
try somewhere else.
Try someplace else.
You know what? I went in right at the end of the Korean War.
Okay.
I was 18 years old, lasted 2 weeks at LSU, made all the parties. And then they said, well, you got to read 4 chapters a night. I said, no, I'm not reading 4 chapters a night. So I joined the Corps. I was 18 years old, right at the end of the Korean War. Never saw combat, thank God.
Right.
But, I was in 81 millimeter mortars. I was a grunt.
Mm-hmm.
Got to see the Philippines, got to see Little Korea, got to see Okinawa, and spent most of my time there.
Right.
Saw people eating out of garbage cans and little kids running the streets half naked, and I'm going, what is this all about?
Right.
And I go, and then I come back home, I said, God, what an experience.
Mm-hmm.
What and I always say to these people, if you don't like it here,
go someplace else.
Try
and take
somewhere
a look around.
else. Let me put you in the middle of the desert with a 55-pound pack on your back, hot as you know what, and let's climb this or climb that, and let's see what your attitude is.
Old lady Liberty starts to look pretty darn good to you then.
Good. That ground looks good when you get off that boat, when you get off that plane. Come on, man. Come on, man.
I firmly believe, Coach, that the Israelis have it right. When you turn 18, ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
You go in.
Mandatory. 2-year service to your country.
I would love to see that come back. Of course, you and I are old fellows. Hey, Clarence, don't say that. Don't say that. Don't do that, man.
But that's the reason believing that and practicing that is the reason why you have the right to be a little precious snowflake and get your emotions and your feelings hurt at the drop of a hat. Can you stick around for a few more minutes for me, Coach?
Heck yeah, Clarence. Awesome. I'm independently broke, but I got a lot of time.
Awesome. Because we got to talk some silver sneakers.
Oh, yeah, we got to talk about my folks, man.
Got to talk about them.
I'm going to give you some stories about that.
Awesome. He is the man, the myth, the legend, and a friend to all who want to know good people. Coach Barrett Murphy is going to stick around with us a little longer as we continue the Monday edition of the Clarence Bugg Show, here and only here on the Pelican. Stay close. Told you if I didn't know
it. Sometimes life is wonderful, and sometimes it's not. Cherish the good, but always be prepared for life's challenges. At Private Healthcare, we provide the peace of mind you deserve. With Private Healthcare, you'll get the coverage you want and healthcare you need. If your employer doesn't supply healthcare coverage and you don't qualify for Medicare or Medicaid, you need to give us a call right now. Private Healthcare is private health insurance for ages 65 and under with medical, dental, vision, and even prescription coverage. When life comes at you unexpectedly, you need to be ready. And health insurance is your financial safety net. Health insurance has never been so easy and affordable. If you're looking for health coverage at the best price and your annual household income is $35,000 or more, call the number on the screen now and speak with a live healthcare consultant. Don't wait. Get the coverage you need now.
Hi, I'm Hurricane Betsy Barnes.
And I'm Dr. Kay Siller with the Rocket Right Show.
We are two busy blondes on the go showing off life in Louisiana.
Watch us on Pelican Sports Network
and Talk 107.3 FM. Check local listings for times.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to GreystoneCountryClub.com.
That's right, the Clarence Bug Show is back, along with the Exiles, Bill Profita and Kevin Gallagher. We've put the band back together, South Louisiana's talk team, and it's only on the Pelican. 10 a.m. till 12 noon, right here on the Pelican.
From appetizers, pasta dishes, and entrees, La Contea takes pride in preparing all the Italian cuisine we know you love. Enjoy live music every Thursday through Saturday from 6 to 9, happy hour weekdays from 3 to 6, and brunch on Sundays from 11 to 2, as well as dinner portion-sized lunch specials for under $10. Visit our website to view our menu and book a party or meeting in our large banquet room. Once you try La Contea, your Italian dining will change forever.
Hour 2 of the Clarence Bug Show. Spending some time with just an absolutely good person. And I don't know why throughout my professional career, God has blessed me to be around phenomenal individuals. I've said before, and it's not, and I hope it never comes off as being braggadocious. It is simply to let you know why I feel the way I feel about certain things. I've been blessed to sit at the feet of greatness, hosting the television shows for 4 Hall of Fame coaches. Eddie Robinson for Grambling State for 12 years, 13 years. Pete Richardson, Southern University for 15 years. Roger Cador, Southern University, 17 years. Dale Brown, LSU, 3 years. And it shaped and molded and reinforced a lot of the things that I assumed about greatness. This individual, to my left, your right, on camera, Coach Barrett Murphy, we met when I was working for Clear Channel Communication, WJBO. It's now iHeartRadio. And I had heard the name, but had never met him in person. And I remember the day we met. He walked in, and this guy started talking to me like he knew me. And I'm saying to myself, who is this white guy coming talking to me like this? But there was an immediate connection. And I've learned over the years, as a student of people and human nature, good people tend to gravitate towards other good people. You and I didn't have any project relationship. I think it was more a case, Coach, of Barrett Murphy is going to try to be the best person he can be. Clarence Buggs is going to try to be the best person he can be. And the rest will take care of itself. Are we missing that in American society these days?
Clarence, not only that, we're missing a lot of things. We've taken God out of the schools.
Amen.
I think that's one of the biggest fallacies that we've ever done.
Mm-hmm.
When you destroy your past,
yep,
or you take God out, or you knock down this, or you knock down that, you take away from what you did,
mm-hmm,
and you learn to try to better yourself from the past. If
Right.
you destroy the past, what do you have to look at? What's going on now? Come on, man. Let's really visualize what's going on. I think one of the biggest aspects is when you take God, the Pledge of Allegiance, dishonoring the flag, not standing for the pledge. If whatever you want to do, you can take it to the streets, but you don't have to put it on display where people go and watch. I go to a game to enjoy it. I don't go to watch all of this and that.
No.
That's just me.
No, that's
but
us.
I have a choice. I don't have to watch it if I don't want to.
Right.
And a lot of people doing it. And I respect everybody's right to protest, but what you protesting, it doesn't fit my bill.
No.
It does not.
No.
And it doesn't fit a lot of people's bills, whatever.
And at the end of the day, your right to protest, your right to peacefully assemble, has been granted to you and guaranteed you by the blood, sweat, tears, and lives of somebody else.
Well said. You better believe it. You better believe it.
You are probably the most active individual that I know. And I'm not just talking about, quote, in your age group. You are doing some things with the program that is so phenomenal, the Silver Sneakers program. For folks that don't know, what is the Silver Sneakers program?
Silver Sneakers is an exercise program for 65 plus, basically.
Right.
Where if you have certain insurance companies, you come to the club or wherever the venue is, you scanned it, they pay the club for you coming. So below 65, you pay to go to a health club.
Right.
But when you get to 65, if your insurance, and some of them do and some of them don't.
Right.
And we've talked, it's being proactive. I got people from 65 to 95.
Wait a minute.
65 to 95.
Wait. It sounded like you said you've got people 95 years old in your exercise classes.
I got one lady, matter of fact, two ladies, 195, 194, 192, and a few in the 90s. But what happens is these poor people don't get out anymore.
Right.
Like we talked about at the beginning of the show. But we got one lady I call Mama Lucille. She's one of the greatest human beings I've ever been around in my life. Silver gray hair, little black lady, so pretty. You would never think she doesn't have a wrinkle on her.
Right.
But you know what? I hadn't seen Mama Lou in nearly 3 months. She's in the house. Her children won't let her go out.
Because of COVID-19.
Because of the COVID-19.
Yeah.
But they're coming back. And but you know what? I got an award 219 for the outstanding instructor for Silver Sneakers for 219 out of 5,000 people. So I'm very proud of that.
So you're doing something right.
Doing something. And I'm going to tell you what, you come to the class, it ain't to sit down in the chair.
Right.
We work.
I love it. What is that like to sit down?
It's like an hour of sweat.
but what's it like? How much does it motivate Barrett Murphy?
Very much.
To see, knowing I got two 95-year-olds, a 90-plus-year-old waiting on me to get here so that they can do their thing.
Let me tell you one thing about I'm not going to say old folks. I'm going to give you I'm going to give you my motto real quick because you're going to love it.
All right.
All right. Clint Eastwood made the movie The Mule.
Yeah.
Okay, and there's a song in there that's played right at the background of the music. Now, hold on.
Okay.
All right, so the music's going on right at the end. Toby Keith wrote the music.
Okay.
And you can go on YouTube and look this up.
Right.
He was playing golf with my boy Clint. And he looked at Clint and he says, "Daggone, Clint, Mr. Eastwood, how do you keep doing this? You nearly 90, you making movies and doing that?" He said, Clint Eastwood looked at him eyeball to eyeball, and he says, "Don't let the old man in."
Wow.
So I stole it, and I plagiarized, but I changed it around a little bit, and we got T-shirts that says, "Don't let the old folks in."
Wow.
And they'll wear them to class when they feel like it, but That's our motto of the class. Don't let the old folks in.
And it's not saying we don't allow the seniors to come into the class. We're not allowing old to get into these folks.
That's right.
I love it.
That's what we say. Don't let the old folks in. I'll tell them all, don't let the old folks in now. And then I'll go sometimes, coach, okay. Do as I say. No, I do the same thing they do.
Right.
But, I get up every morning, and I said, man, what am I doing?
Right.
I'm retired. But just walking in there with them, like I walked in this morning at 8:30 at Spectrum on by the stadium, Olympia.
Right.
And there they all putting their chairs and their balls and their bands and everything that we do, and they got their little spots, and we got social distance and this and that. Buddy, when I walk in, they ready to go. And we play music now.
Right.
We play the 50s and downtown and all that.
Nice.
They get a little of that. Hey now. Hey now.
I love it. People that had no idea there was something like this going on. People that say, my mother and father might be interested.
Oh, yeah.
How do they find out more about this, Coach?
Well, the insurance companies will send them information about it. Humana's a big one. I used to work at Humana, did 4 classes. I did like 8 classes a week.
Right.
And then with COVID.
Right.
But each carrier will present and say, and some places will take it, some places won't.
Right.
So right now, we got a little brouhaha coming with the insurance companies, and I don't know what's going to happen. They asked our people, which is rightfully so, insurance sort of denied us cost of living across the board for the health clubs. And
right.
I don't know what's going to happen, Ed. I really don't. So next year, 2021, some of these clubs will not accept them. So where do those people go?
Yeah.
Back in the house?
Well, those of you that are concerned and those of you that like to see it continue, call your insurance companies and email them, write them, call them, let them know.
Go to the website silversneakers.com.
Okay.
All kind of information. You can go on and go online and stand in your house and do instructions.
Awesome.
They want it. When they call me, I say, I'm not on that. I'm going to my gym. I'm going to get my 2 or 3 people.
Right.
Like I said this morning, we had close to capacity.
Right.
We were 4 short of legal. So they're coming back. And then I got some of them that will get up at 7 o'clock in the morning and be in Olympia that came out of my class.
Right.
They bring their chairs and get in the parking lot, got 20 of them working out.
Awesome.
So it's great. It's a great Silver Sneakers.
You've heard the name. You may not have ever seen the face, but now you know, if you've been with us so far for the second hour, now you know why this guy is so highly thought of by his peers, by everyone in the sports and athletic community, and why I am so honored to call him my friend. Coach, thank you so much, big guy.
Same thing here, Clarence. You're doing a great job. I'm going to put in a word for you. Let me tell you the way shows go. Shows just don't happen free.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Right.
It's called advertisement.
Yeah.
And
we need you.
You people out there, if you can help, you got the money, help this guy out.
We'd appreciate it.
Everybody needs help. I'm out this week trying to finalize my sponsorship for my scoreboard, and it's a little squeaky.
Right.
But for you and people like you that are out here serving the public and doing good things for them,
bless your heart.
Come on, folks. Come on, man.
Come on, man.
Come on, man. Help the man out. Give him a call. Call Alan. Call all the folks here at Pelican. Say, look, man, what's your rates? What do y'all sell? What are your spots for?
We'll make you a great deal.
Make you a deal you can't refuse.
A deal you can't refuse.
But help the man
And the same
out.
for the scoreboard show. It's an institution.
And all the guys that work here.
Yeah.
That have been here for years. I've been around Allen Trail and that bunch for years. Great people. They do a service to the community. And come on, help my man Clarence out here. Does a great job.
We'd appreciate
Commentary, coming on the show, listening to him. Don't forget, courage is a muscle.
Thank you, my friend.
Courage is a muscle.
Thank you, my friend.
All right.
Bottom of the hour break. We get it done. We'll roll right on with the Monday edition of the Clarence Bugg Show, here and only here on the Pelican. Stay close.
All right.
For total home pest control, who are you going to call?
Call the Bug Man, 923-BUGS.
For total pest control for your home or business, call the original Salvat.
Call the Bug Man today, 923-BUGS.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to greystonecountryclub.com.
Bolello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent. Depend on us for service, for selection, for price. Get huge Whirlpool savings. Shop now and save on Whirlpool appliances throughout the store. Plus, experience our price match guarantee and ask about special financing. You can depend on the know-how of people who live appliances every day. Bolello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent with nationwide buying power.
Exiles from what you ask? Exiled from the radio. But now we're on your television.
I'm Bill Profita. He's Kevin Gallagher, and they kicked us to the curb.
But we're back.
We are back with Exiles Television on the Pelican Broadcasting Network. We're going to bring you the newsmakers. We're also going to take your calls and give you great information. It's going to be the best damn radio show on television.
Look for it on your cable system or download the app, PelicanSportsTV.com.
They said I could find you here. Why are you fishing? Our company's got to ship out 2 full color brochures and 20 color copies. You're killing me.
It's done. Designed, printed, packaged, and shipped.
How?
You just got to know the right people. Baker Printing, the printing people.
How come you get to fish in this private lake?
Like I said, you just got to know the right people.
You can know the right people too.
To the Monday edition, hour 2. Which one is that, Marty? Is that like all the way or that one? In the middle. There we go. Thank you kindly, sir. The COVID-19 pandemic has wrought havoc in our everyday lives. And some things, if you are a traditionalist like yours truly, some things that have been impacted by COVID-19, the restrictions, the lockdowns, phase this, phase that, phase the other. Some things stand out more to you than others. As a traditionalist and a South Louisiana boy, one of the things that helps get me through the heat, humidity, and the dog days of South Louisiana summer is knowing that when the fall rolls around, not only do we hopefully get somewhat cooler temperatures, hopefully we also get some football, and hopefully we get the state fair. Well, not this time around. COVID-19 wreaking havoc on the state fair. And joining us to talk about the cancellation of this year's Greater Baton Rouge State Fair is Greg Edwards, the chairman of the Greater Baton Rouge State Fair Foundation. Greg, good morning, and how are you, sir?
Good morning, Clarence. I am well, thank you.
How painful was that decision for the foundation to have to cancel the fair this year?
I would say on a 10, it was a scale of 1 to 10, it was probably a 12. You know, it's not only that we don't get to do it, it's that, you know, we have a body of 100-plus volunteers that come together once a year to really put on something nice and big, and we all get to see each other, and we, you know, do that, and we're just not going to be able to do that this year, and that's what we miss. And, of course, we miss the food and the public and the people, and we've been doing this for 55 years.
Wow.
And to miss it is like, it's painful. It's just painful.
Yeah. It's funny you say that, because when I think State Fair, I think immediately my senses are heightened. I'm thinking of walking through the gate and going through the first couple of tents or so, and there's going to be the smell of various types of livestock and their poop and the hay and the feed, and then I'll go through that, and then I am literally knocked to my knees by the smell of shrimp on a stick, chicken on a stick, Philly cheesecake, corn dogs, cotton candy, popcorn, you name it. It's just something that excites the senses like very few things can do. Now, that being said, I'm sure people all over the country react the exact same way. It's a heightened sensibility, sensitivity, sense of awareness. Any idea how COVID-19 is affecting your counterparts in other states and their fairs?
More or less the very same way. Now, the Louisiana State Fair in Shreveport will not go on this year. Pretty much, other than actually in Florida, the fair season is January, February, March. So they kind of got theirs in early. But one by one, the big state fairs and county fairs all over the country have closed for they just didn't put them on.
Wow.
And we kept thinking, well, by the time ours gets here, it's going to be all better. Well, it wasn't. So, we certainly don't try to second guess the governor and president and all the people that are trying to keep us alive.
Right.
But it would be unfair to say that we were disappointed.
Yeah.
Very disappointed, but we understand. It's the same thing as happened in Katrina. The fairgrounds was taken over by FEMA.
Right.
And we hated that as well, but good Lord, we had to support the higher good, I suppose, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. So this is only the second time in 56 years that the Greater Baton Rouge State Fair has had to be canceled?
That's correct.
Wow.
Now, we've had some rainy days.
Right.
We've had some wet fairs.
Right.
But where it seemed like that. But, this is only the second time that we're not even going to set up. And it hurts a little bit,
Yeah. For those of us that are more intricately aware of what the Greater Baton Rouge State Fair Foundation is all about, one of the things that we cherish is the fact that it's not just about putting together a great time for community to come together, enjoy great food, enjoy great rides, enjoy great entertainment. There's also a huge philanthropic effort that's involved in this. How is this how's the cancellation because of COVID-19 going to affect those charity giving efforts?
I would say not at all, but of course, and I would say not at all because over the years we've been, I would proudly say, we've been very good stewards of the money.
Right.
The way it works, the fair board itself produces the fair with the volunteers and all that stuff, and they get all the bills paid, and whatever's left, they turn 100% of that over to the foundation, and then we give it away. Wow. Now, over the years, we've been able to not give everything away and put a little aside and sometimes put a lot aside. So we have a very nice nest egg that will allow us next year to maintain our level of support for the nonprofits and the school scholarships and the St. Vincent de Paul uniforms for kids and all those things that we support. And we may have to watch it a little bit. You know, we may, well, we're going to give you $1.50 instead of $2.
Right.
But I would say that if we didn't know we didn't have a fair, our grant applicants wouldn't know it. Wouldn't know that, because we plan to maintain our level of giving. But we may watch it a little more carefully, if that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely. For those that the reality of COVID-19 is really kicking in now, when they realize, oh my God, I didn't realize we're not going to have a state fair this year. Typically, a lot of times, we kind of allocate a little bit of money to spend with the family on this endeavor. I have spoken with you and with other members of the foundation and the fair's logistical staff. You all have a great recommendation of what you'd like to see people do, those who can, as far as the dollars that typically they would spend on going to something like a state fair. Would you share that with our viewers, Greg?
Sure. And it actually wasn't my idea, but I supported it immediately. You know, folks may spend $20 or $50 or whatever at the fair, and they're not going to do that this year. So if they're looking for a place to spend or donate that money, we would say that we don't want you to give it to the foundation, because we're okay. We would prefer that you send it to Lake Charles, to Cameron and Calcasieu Parish, whatever. There are a number of organizations that are putting teams together and supporting personnel and the rebuilding of that. You know, Baton Rouge knows very well what it's like between Katrina and the Great Flood of 2016. And the people from all over the country came and helped us. And they helped New Orleans. And it's our turn to give back to our brothers and sisters in the Lake Charles area, because we know what they're going through.
There is finally, Greg, an old line that has been used in countless songs that says, you don't miss what you had until it's gone.
Right.
Second time now in 56 years, no Greater Baton Rouge State Fair. I can only imagine that it's given you and your staff a renewed sense of determination to come back bigger and better than ever next year?
Absolutely. We're already planning and stretching ideas around, and what can we do, and what big bazoom can we come up with to say we're back.
Right. Well, hopefully, if you see my number pop up on your phone next year, and you pick up the phone and say Greg Edwards, and you hear somebody go bazoom, then you'll know that's me, and I give you my wholehearted thumbs up seal of approval. Greg, thank you so much for the time, my friend, but more important, thanks for being great stewards of the money entrusted to you at the Greater Baton Rouge State Fair Foundation, and doing it in such a manner that when something like this comes along, you're still able to help through philanthropic efforts some very needy organizations, students, scholarships, and the like. It's the mark of a great organization, and I applaud you for your efforts, sir.
Thank you very much.
Take care and stay safe, Greg.
You too.
All right, final break of today's show. We will knock this puppy out, and after that, as we always do this time of day on a Monday and or a Wednesday, we come back, we put that big old bow all around this puppy, tie it up real nice, neat, and purty, and we put an end to today's edition of the Clarence Bugg Show. It is here, nowhere else but, only on the Pelican. Stay close.
From appetizers, pasta dishes, and entrees, La Contea takes pride in preparing all the Italian cuisine we know you love. Enjoy live music every Thursday through Saturday from 6 to 9, happy hour weekdays from 3 to 6, and brunch on Sundays from 11 to 2, as well as dinner portion-sized lunch specials for under $10. Visit our website to view our menu and book a party or meeting in our large banquet room. Once you try La Contea, your Italian dining will change forever.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to GreystonecountryClub.com.
Jaguar Nation, we need your help in masking up Louisiana.
Masking up or slow the spread of COVID-19.
During this time, we must continue to wear a mask. Wash your hands and practice social distancing.
It's important that we continue to abide by the CDC's guidelines to stop the spread.
Jaguar Nation, we challenge you to mask up.
Go Jags!
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
Hi, I'm Hurricane Betsy Barnes.
And I'm Dr. Kay Siller with The Rocket Right Show.
We are two busy blondes on the go showing off life in Louisiana.
Watch us on Pelican Sports Network.
And Talk 107.3 FM. Check local listings for times.
Hi, I'm Bobby Yarborough with Manda Fine Meats. Here at Manda, we know what the folks of South Louisiana love. They love great flavored smoked sausage, delicious deli meats, and specialty items like boudin and andouille sausage. Manda Fine Meats has been providing these products since 1947. We produce them right here in Baton Rouge, so you know you're always getting the freshest product at your local grocery store. Manda Fine Meats. Taste the fresh local flavor in everything we make. Make it Manda every time.
Back for the final segment of hour 2 of our Monday edition of the Clarence Bug Show. Don't forget the Exiles in my stead tomorrow and, of course, on Thursday. Although I guess it may remain to be seen depending on what Sally decides she's going to do. But we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Something I wanted to touch on before we got out of here today. There are certain things that you have to be careful how you take the top off that box. Because once you take it off, you will never put that puppy back to bed again. Have you guys and girls seen the new criteria, the diversity standards for movies to be eligible to win an Oscar for the Best Picture of the Year? A press release for the Academy explains that starting in 2024, films competing for the Best Picture will be required to meet at least 2 of the following 4 standards. Standard A, on-screen representation, themes, and narratives. To achieve Standard A, the film must meet one of the following criteria. A1, lead or significant supporting actor. At least one of the lead actors or significant supporting actors has to be from an underrepresented racial or ethnic group: Asian, Hispanic / Latino, Black / African American, Indigenous / Native American, Alaskan Native, Middle Eastern / North African, Native Hawaiian or other Pacific Islander, or other underrepresented race or ethnicity. Category A2, general ensemble cast. At least 30% of all actors in secondary and more minor roles have to be from at least two of the following underrepresented categories: women, racial or ethnic group, LGBTQ plus, whatever that is, people with cognitive or physical disabilities, or who are deaf or hard of hearing. A3, main storyline / subject matter. The main storyline's theme or narrative of the film is centered on underrepresented groups: women, racial or ethnic group, LGBTQ plus, people with cognitive or physical disabilities, or who are deaf or hard of hearing. Standard B, creative leadership and project team. Have to have at least two of the following creative leadership positions and department heads: casting director, cinematographer, composer, costume designer, director, hairstylist, editor, makeup artist, producer, designer, set decorator, sound tech, video effects supervisor, writer. Have to be from the following groups: women, racial or ethnic, LGBTQ plus, and it goes on and on and on and on. Whatever happened to simply hiring the best person for the job? And the problem I have with all of this, what happens if you want to do the best job you can do, but you can't hire the best people? Why? Well, because we have to have a certain percentage from this group, that group, the other group. Are you not simply dumbing down the product? Are you now forcing people to settle for less than the best? Well, Clarence, you sound like you're trying to say women can't do as good a job. No, that's not what I'm saying. It's the exact opposite. Suppose it's all women in a particular category that are the most qualified. Now you got to knock them out in favor of LGBTQ, Black, Asian, Hispanic, Latino, hard of hearing, born on Wednesday, the whole nine. You see the fallacy and the lunacy in all of this? But all they got to do these days is throw out a catchy phrase: diversity. Throw out a catchy phrase: it's systemic. And we lose our minds. And you wonder why we find ourselves where we find ourselves. All that being said, I still say, you're right. America, we're not perfect. But doggone it, for my money, it's still the best there is. And God knows there's no place else on his green earth that I'd rather be. Speaking of the good Lord, you realize he loves you, right? And I hope you know that I do too. Then again, doesn't really matter, because there ain't a doggone thing you can do about either one. I make you a deal. Take care of yourselves. Let's take care of each other, and we'll do it again. Exiles tomorrow. Yours truly Wednesday. Take care. God bless.